technology. They need to have knowledge of these gadgets. They need to know how to operate them. Today, even if someone wants to get a passport, it's no longer those ways where you have to go through a third party. You do it at your own convenience. And when you look at so many things that have been digitalized, you have to have knowledge of ICT. Now, joining me this morning, I have teachers from one of the schools that is moving into this direction, and that is Kampala City Grammar Nursery, Day and Boarding Primary School. I am delighted to have the Director of Studies. Hope they are not offended by protocol. Not really. Allow me follow the sitting order. From my extreme end, I have Beteise Herbert, who is the Director of Studies. Most welcome, Herbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chilavo.
And then next to him, I have Sennabulia Francis, who happens to be the head teacher. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chilavo, for hosting us.
Then just next to me is a lady in pink, and that is Wanyeza Katie, who happens to be a teacher, and I'm told she's in charge of discipline. Madam, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chilavo. I'm delighted to be here with you, and thank you for watching UBC TV.
Well, now we go to the gist of the day, and allow me begin with Sennabulia. I don't know which clan is that.
Clan.
The Andiga clan is making rounds where they ate their own. Now you're from the
Ngo clan.
Ngo clan.
Yes.
Okay, that is the leopard.
That's the leopard.
Omuzirango.
Omuzirango. Atebalangira.
Atebalangira. Kari. That is funny. But this morning now, when we talk about ICT in schools, the guests are coming from a primary school. Help us understand at this level how relevant is ICT to these pupils.
ICT, as it means information, information and what?
Communication technology.
Information communication technology.
Yes, please.
It means children being able to get information and be able to communicate effectively. So at this level of primary school, we're introducing children to getting prepared to work or to belong to the new era where information technology is the gist of the day. So we teach them computers, and we find that they get the knowledge of computers right from home, right from the telephones, the mobile phones that they have at home. You find a child before even he comes to school, he has some basic knowledge of using technology, information technology, from the mobile phone of the parents. Some of them have tabs. So in school at Kampala State Grammar, we have a computer lab, and we are enhancing this knowledge that these children have already acquired at home of using computers or ICT to expand their knowledge so that they are able to freely and equitably and fluently use the computers that they have to use in studying.
Now, Herbert, when we talk about them being introduced, of course, they have already some knowledge. What are those particular, what do you disseminate here? Because it is very easy for a child to know that when you place this, you're doing that, but in what direction? Because these gadgets also have other issues. Those days when people used to visit cafes, you'd find students, or pupils actually, buying time to be on the internet, and if you dare moved your eye sensibly and trickily, you'd be shocked by what these children may be viewing actually. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, our host, Chilavo. I'm Herbert Beteise. I'm glad to be here. As you've said, we have very many problems with the computer. Yes, it is the way to go. We cannot avoid it because we are in this era now. We have to do it. we have to teach them. But of course, having those challenges, we have to keep an open eye. Because yes, they have to be connected, we have to teach them, but we have to be on them. You may talk about the disadvantages of internet, but still, it will not come out the way you want it. So what we do, we have to monitor. You cannot allow all the class to sit and do whatever they feel. So if you have a lesson about computer, you have to organize, know that at least 3 or 4 teachers are in the computer lab to monitor and guide, so that one child will not bypass and go to another lesson. Because remember the way you set the computer lab, if you're presenting, you may not see the one behind the monitor and see whatever is taking place. So what you do, you get a co-teacher to help you move around and make sure they are doing the same thing, so that they don't enter into internet. We know there is this part of pornography, so we avoid such. We want to teach them, know the benefits of using a computer, but not going to the other bad part of it, because it is advantageous and disadvantageous in the other side.
Yes, Kate, you wanted to supplement?
I think, yes, I really wanted to add on what he has been saying. I think talking about information communication technology to young children, like there are many disadvantages, just as Mr. Chilavo, you said it, right? But we are dealing with the young children of primary level. When you introduce children to ICT at an early stage, they learn the discipline of using computers at that early stage, whereby after learning that, they get to know, oh, I can use the internet for this. Just as Teacher Herbert said that, we shall be there to monitor what they are doing all around. But then, if children are introduced at an early stage to the computers, they learn the discipline in a way that they will not look at this thing and they're like, am I excited? It's my first time to have this. Let me click on this. Remember, when you're receiving computers for the first time, for example, phones, tabs, for the first time, anything that comes around, you'll be tapping in. But if you really introduce ICT to children at an early stage, they will grow up knowing that this is part of us. And even if I'm looking for information, I just need to go to the relevant information I need in life, not to misuse it, not excitedly, but to just go to the right information they need on the internet, pick it out, and use it.
So they won't have issues of arrivalism, urban excitement with these gadgets. It will be something they have known. Now, I'll go back to the head teacher. We love, and also our government and the Ministry of Education and Sports has talked so much regarding ICT in schools. But let's also understand, how easy is it for a school to teach? I don't want to use the word computer lessons because it's so minor, it's so narrow. So what is computer lessons? Though on timetables I still see computer lessons, you know. But I want to look at it in the view of ICT. So how easy has it been for you people to carry out this?
I will talk about complex grammar, because I don't know what happens in other schools, but I can use also the experience I've had to say what actually is being done. At Kampala State Grammar, you find that during our budgeting, we make sure that we provide a portion of the budget to cater for ICT. And that's where it starts from, because schools should put some money aside for ICT development in the school. If you don't have a budget for it, you're going to touch here and there and will not be able to develop the department very well. So there must be budget allocation to ICT so that you can get what you're supposed to get, what you're supposed to give your learners very well, because you have a budget for it. So we have a budget for acquiring computers, a budget for acquiring software, different programs to put on the computers, and later on we are going to have even tabs which we can give to the students. Right now we have desktops which the students, pupils are using, but later on we are going to make it even easier so that a child can move outside the computer lab and is able to access the computer. So there must be budget allocation. The constraint are the resources. It's basically the resources. When the resources are not there, it becomes very difficult because you need a teacher who is knowledgeable so that he can give instructions to the learners. You need to acquire the hardware. You need to have the software as well, and all these cost money. You need to have the internet, and internet also you need to pay for the internet. So there must be budget allocation if you are to have successful ICT in a school.
Now this takes me to Herbert. You can only give what you have. You can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
Now let's look at teachers' ability to disseminate right information. Because I don't know if at primary level, at least to the best of my knowledge, this is not an examinable subject.
Not yet.
And I'm very sure in the teacher training institutions, very few teachers have sufficient knowledge regarding ICT.
It's true.
Let's call a spoon a spoon.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how do you address this issue?
Thank you so much. As you've said, it is a big problem, mostly in primary schools. But as I talk at Kampala City Grammar, when we are to enroll any teacher to teach, you must be having computer knowledge. So this is helping us because we don't want to recruit a teacher specifically for computer. Because if it is P1, because you cannot know each and everything, we want a teacher of primary 1 to conduct the lesson using computer. Because here, we are specifically talking about information, communication, and technology. So we want to relate with the subjects we have. Not necessarily coming to teach about the parts of a computer as it used to be. But now, if I'm teaching about science, it is a science lesson, and plants, I want to bring a computer, put there, let each child see, open and be able to see, as a class teacher or as a subject teacher. So we do it in a way that every teacher coming in school at least has some knowledge about computer. Because if you were to say one teacher teaching from baby class up to P7, then it becomes too tiresome. So we have to make sure that all teachers, though it is not possible in some schools, but ours at least, I can give it 70%, and at least 70% of our teachers are able to handle computer. So that is it. So we are grateful with it, because I normally reach there at the Director of Studies, see what is taking place, and when the teacher is delivering, yes, it may not be to the maximum, but at least we will be having refresher courses, so that at least we come to the standard. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us from the hour of 6:30 till now. You can be part of the topic of discussion this morning by simply using the number on your screen. Send me a text message, send me a WhatsApp message, as we are looking at why pupils or students need ICT skills. I don't know where a child goes to school, but one thing is the world is a global village, and one of the things happening there is ICT. At least you must have basics not computer lessons, but basics, how you transform that knowledge. For example, if you're applying for a job, today we have many organizations where they don't want to see you physically. Some of them, you're going to do your interview without interacting with anyone physically. There's a link for you, then you're interviewed via Zoom, then you get to know if you pass the interview, still communicating. The only time is when you're walking into your workplace. Now, this doesn't need to know the parts of the computer, but know how do I use what I have to be able to fill in, to be able to scan documents, to do all this. And here we are saying right from primary or pre-primary, how do we ensure that ICT is part and parcel of the way we teach? It may not be examinable, but of the way we teach. And I have teachers from Kampala City Grammar, nursery day and boarding primary school with whom we are discussing this. You can be part of us. I'll be waiting for your message, for your WhatsApp text as well. Now, coming back to you, Katie, when you talk about, I want to know, how do these students at this early age respond towards this? The love, the understanding. You know, today, much as we are talking about exorbitant fees that you private schools do charge us, but also one would say, but sometimes they put things that are taught there and they are not there, you know. But also sometimes it is just for formality. There was one school I saw on TV some years back, and they were advertising, we teach computers, we have a computer lab. Now, abruptly we went to check on the computer lab, and I don't know where they had filmed this computer lab. It was non-existent at the school. But in their advert, and you would see students seriously. So how are the children perceiving this, and is it practically being taught?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chilavo. Yes, for sure, we are dealing with young children, as you said, primary level. And how do they take it? Just as I said earlier, these children really need their computer skills at the early stage in order for them to prepare for a lot of things. For example, the market. We are in 21st century, and everything we do is all about computer. Any field you go to, you have to apply computer knowledge. Just as you said, they just need to get the primary skills of computers. For example, we at Kampala City Grammar Day and Boarding Primary School, we make sure that children are able to learn computer skills at any early stage, as early as primary 1 level. And that is the age of around 6 years. A child is able to really manipulate the computers, is able to type, save work, is able to edit, work on a computer, copy, paste, and do a lot with the computers. So, Mr. Chilava, I really want to let you know that at Kampala City Grammar, we do that, and we give that chance to learners. Just as the head teacher said, we have got a computer lab. And for sure, I think the ones viewing UBC TV right now, please, you can pay us a visit. We're just located at Mutundwe, along Nalukolongo Road. Please,
well, I want to let you go into that, where you're located, and also that. But yes, it is important that the truth is. Now, I have messages coming in here. Good morning. You should also encourage parents who are able to support their children. Many children learned to find answers on Google in primary too. Okay, he's in the right direction, saying, then I have another, and I don't know why people like violence early morning. This one says, good morning, Chirabo, thank you for the program. This issue of ICT is one of the ways schools are using to ask us a lot of money. Practically, what does a primary child study on computer?
Okay.
Can I get to that? I think computer is not about teaching only what the computer does, but application of the computer. A child needs to know that he needs to write an assignment, type it out. It doesn't even need to know the parts of the computer per se, but he needs to know how to apply the computer in learning. He needs to know how to use the computer to get information to enhance his learning, like using the different platforms on the computer, on the net, so that he can be able to even get animation of some experiments. For example, if it is about magnetizing a piece of metal, there are animations on YouTube. So a child should be able to access these areas where he can be able to enhance his learning. And the teacher can use that, those programs on the platforms, on the computer, on the internet, to make his teaching more practical and more realistic for the learners to really understand. And I want to say that at Kampala State Grammar, we are not telling any fee to ICT.
It's not there.
It's not there. Sure. Although it may happen in some other schools, as somebody has presented. It's a general fee that is charged, and we just feel that a computer is part of the curriculum that children should be able to learn, so that they prepare themselves for the next level that they are going to get to.
Very interesting, and I just want to tell people out there, I just want to give you a very simple example. I have a workmate here called Chantal. Now, this person is so much a computer person, and I've seen it on many other people. Those days, if you wanted to meet someone somewhere, or you're going anywhere, now this workmate of mine will not waste time directing you. She'll send you something called a pin. These days, if I want to know where Kampala City Grammar is, and a teacher is there, you don't waste time telling someone, reach this mango tree, take a corner, then ask for Mama Naka's saloon. No, someone will simply send you a pin.
True.
Now, if you have a phone, I hope I'm using the right word. She's a distant away from me, my computer wizard. I have a computer wizard here. So that's where the world is heading to.
Yeah.
You're doing business with someone, you have to deliver something to them, they're going to pay you. Someone simply says, I've sent you a pin. In 2 hours, I'm waiting for you, 1 hour, I'm waiting for you. Then you begin meandering around, getting lost here and there, because you can't even follow something simple like that. So that's where the world is heading to. Well, more messages are coming in. It's a good idea, but it only favors urban people who have access to computers, unlike rural schools who are still on typewriters. Are these things still there?
Maybe up country.
Typewriters?
To some extent.
Yeah, they are there because
I only see them when you're getting a third party for your vehicle.
and I asked one of the ladies that, why do you have to use the manual
Third party, I don't know why they use a typewriter.
I really don't know.
But I thought that was outdated technology a long time ago.
It's becoming obsolete.
It's becoming obsolete. But well, one says it only favors urban schools, and I want to believe, but now also the rural areas, government, private sector, because children from rural areas still are going to work in the same market with the urban schools. Me, when I'm doing business with you and I'm sending you a pin, I don't want to know if you're from a rural area setting or what. Still moving on. Good morning, Chirabo. As far as I know, ICT is wide and so huge. We are glad that UBC TV is creating awareness for Ugandans and showing us how good it is to have ICT lessons. It is the way to go. Invite also other stakeholders to discuss more. But thanks for the informative topic. We thank the Ministry of Education and the NRM government for introducing ICT in the new curriculum. Well, thank you so much for watching. Another one says, good morning, sir. Most primary schools in up countries do not have power. Now, how do you put computers in such, like a building collapsing on pupils? Well, yes, we could have so many unfortunate incidents, but then that does not remove the fact that ICT is a must by now be taught in our schools. I'll read one more. Good morning, Kampala City Grammar School. fear for pupils abusing the time allocated to learning ICT. All you need to do is to install Wi-Fi devices that regulates what the learner can access. ICT is the way to go. So someone is saying instead of having teachers monitor, you just have to have a Wi-Fi that can restrict what they are able to view and not what to view. Well, time seems to be flying and more messages are coming in, but let me just get back to my guests. However, I'm not saying that you shouldn't keep the messages coming in, because even after we can still have them and maybe you can have your reply as well. Now, one of the things that you've prioritized is ICT in this particular school. But one also wonders, as we talk about teaching, prioritizing ICT, this is not an examinable subject. And I just want to get your opinions. Because most times when I see private schools, a person will tell you, if you ask them, children are not doing so much of sports. They'll tell you, does your neighbor ask that? You know, there is no music, dance, and drama. Does your neighbor ask that? I was one of the people who enjoyed debates in school. My school prioritized so much debating clubs. And sometimes when I look at these honorable members of parliament, debating how they react, I feel if I had the power to crack a whip on many of them. Because that's not what I learned, what a debating class should be. So, how best should we push for prioritizing ICT, which is not examinable at this level in schools? I want to begin with Katie.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chilavu. I, for one, advocating for ICT in all schools. I think it should be a must. I think the government has to really come in and do that. For example, one of the people watching us has said that in rural areas, there are no computers. But we believe that Rome wasn't built in one day. And of course, bricks maybe were being taken each and every day. So we believe that we can start on the process. The government can start on the process. They may not give to all the schools, but they can keep on supplying computers to the different schools. Then creating awareness to the teachers. I'm a teacher by profession, and at colleges, we really urge our bosses to really introduce ICT to all the teacher training colleges so that teachers are able to get those skills. Because we believe if a teacher has got ICT skills, he or she is able to deliver the same content to the learners. And we are in the 21st century, for crying out loud. So children need these skills for life because they do a lot in our lives. Creativity, marketing, and a lot of things they can do. So I think ICT in schools, the government has to really put in a lot. And also the schools, like the government, the private schools, the directors have to really allocate some money for ICT. Just like at Kampala City Grammar. Please, we have that budget. And the schools should really bring in computers. They should bring in people who know skills about computers so that they can train young ones. Then also talking to the parents. You know, these parents we are having nowadays, they know what's happening in the world because they are in the field of working right now. They know we need the skills of computer at all times. So I believe our parents really need to know that learners need these computers. If you can afford a tab of 500,000, why not? You can buy for your child. If not, maybe you have a school that has got a computer lab. Maybe you can't afford the tab. Please do that. Send the child to such schools so that they can be able to really get the skills of ICT because they really do a lot. They promote personal, individualized learning. They have creativity. They have a lot of things.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Katie. Yes, head teacher, as we move out of here, your final message of how best we can prioritize ICT, yet it is not examinable.
Thank you, Mr. Chirabo. I think what we need to have at the back of our minds when we talk about ICT is that it's the way to go today is the way we can link up the entire world. Communication, shopping, marketing of products, giving or dissemination of information. These are things which are being done, and they're done on computer. So if we expose the children to the ICT, they will be able to fit very well into the current, into the new world, the new era of technology.
Well, yes, Herbert, at the extreme end.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chilabo. To me, I think people take it in another way. That maybe talking about ICT is teaching computer. We have to begin with the phones we have.
Yeah.
Parents have phones, but you may find the child is not even allowed to touch. And this is the way to go.
For safety measures.
Yes, and some
phones are
of
not
the
good for
information
children to
kept
touch.
in the phone. But if we could allow them know even how to type a sentence in a phone, then it becomes easier. Because this is information, communication. You have to communicate. Because I know in nearby years to come, we will not be even entering classes. You will find children learning from their homes. They get tablets, they get computers, and learn from home. And they have to be examined from there. Questions, answers are marked from home.
Even today, have many people who are doing programs, long distance
Zoom
studies.
meetings.
You're doing a degree in the but university in the United States. So you're getting everything, you're handling,
yes.
you're doing everything. Maybe you just go for graduation.
Yes, true. So we have to combine efforts, because there are some parents who may oppose it, having at the back of their minds that maybe this computer era is spoiling, because there are some people who believe in that. But of course, we have to communicate to them, we have to teach them, we have to use everything that we can so that at least we be one people, at least in this computer. Then there we'll know that at least our children are going to grow up having this information. Then it will help Uganda.
Yeah, definitely we need this. But also a quick one. Well, I had a message that came in from a director of a school, and he said the challenge is the expensive cost of having this, but also he says maintenance. I want to know how best they are able to maintain these laboratories. Students keep on spoiling them. At the end of the day, the parents have to incur a cost which makes them fed up of teaching such subjects.
I think Teacher Herbert talked about supervision. The reason why children are destructive is because sometimes we leave them on their own. So you need to supervise them and guide them. They should learn and love the equipment that is before them. That is the starting point. But maintenance, we have a technician. Of course, he's part of the staff who services the machines and is there to see that all the gadgets that we have are functional and they're working very well. There is a cost that goes with that, but as I said, you have to provide for it in your budget. Yeah, you have to provide for it. You have to supervise the learners when they're using the gadgets, and the teachers must be there, not to leave the children on their own, and they become destructive. If you do the supervision very well, the children love the machine they are using, they will be able to maintain them very well. They own the gadgets. Yes.
Well, I just want to thank you so much, team from Kampala City Grammar Nursery Day and Boarding Primary School. And today we've been looking at why it is important for pupils to have ICT skills. And really, you, our viewer, I'm sure, you have picked some information to know, does your school prioritize ICT? Not computer lessons, but ICT, ability to use these gadgets in learning and acquiring life necessary skills. If not, maybe have a second thought of where best you could spend your hard-earned money on school fees. See you in the next hour. Ruben is here to take you through sports updates. Good morning, and thank you for being with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
MTN Momo Pay is the easy way to pay. Dial star 165 star 3 hash or use the MTN Momo app. You don't need cash. MTN Momo Pay is safe and free.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja Ankole segment. Learn about the fabrication of Ankole Kingdom from Nkore, the beautiful village of milk and honey at the detriment of Mpororo states.
Ankole as a kingdom came about in 1901.
Ankole is a colonial fabrication.
And all these small kingdoms were counties of the original Itara.
Ruhinda Ruanjunachi, who was Mchwezi,
the son of Wamara Ranjanjojo Ruabwera.
And that starts the rulers of Ankole called Bahinda.
Who are the pre-colonial heroes from Ankole?
Is it Rutaraka, Muguta? Is it Intare, Kitabanyoro? Find out from Tuko Pamoja.
Premiering on Wednesday, 28th February at 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the National Theatre. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
With Kuzma is going to say a lot because he is their scoring engine that opens the score. A lob to Kaminga, executed perfectly.
So it's a back screen from Steph.
Kispert a deep three that he rails.
Okay, they got some shooters. Kispert's one of them. Tyus Jones can knock him down.
Kuzma's got the greenest of green lights, and he can score in a variety of ways. Kaminga banking it home. Bagley had come over in the trade from Detroit, and he drops in a three. Again, Kaminga drawing multiple defenders, and Draymond hitting the three like he always does in the first quarter. Shot clock at 5. Kuzma again, come on. Kyle Kuzma, 3 of 4.
Let's slow him down now.
Kaminga's getting all he wants right now. JK looks good. Adamski an open 3, and he got it.
Good matchup.
Said Jordan would be looking for his offense, and he opens with the 3.
So he's been playing well lately.
DP2 went to hammer it down, but missed the dunk.
And Bagley got over there to bother that one.
And then Poole's got an easy layup.
And you've had a couple of defensive breakdowns here.
Reload Klay Thompson 3. GP2. He didn't miss that dunk. Kispert attacking.
My name is Ruben P. Machibirango. I was smiling this morning because I've just got a message from Chisto Aisha. I discussed with Aisha in the morning about the scenario that happened yesterday, and Aisha still continues to. Anyway, I don't know what to do now, what to say, but I'll take Chantal's advice. I think Aisha should learn something. You're so mad, eh? Why are you so angry at Ruben? Anyway, that's on sports. We have to give you sports, but it really amuses me when somebody sends you a message in the morning complaining about things that happened 25 years ago. Can't imagine. Can't really imagine. Anyway, we had games this morning, basketball, that's a regular season. The Cavs did beat the Mavericks, that was 121 to 119. But then we also had the Warriors did beat the Wizards, that was 123 to 112. We had the Hawks beating the Jazz. That was 124 to 97. That's NBA for you. Then also had the Celtics beating the 76ers. Bam Adebayo couldn't do anything. Of course, they did beat 76ers. Not Joel Embiid, not Adebayo. Adebayo is for another team. This is Joel Embiid's team, the 76ers. They did lose the Celtics 117 to 99. We had the Knicks losing to the Pelicans. That was 115 to 92. The Bulls lost the Pistons 105 to 95 as well. And then the Mavericks, or rather the Bucks, not the Mavericks, the Bucks with the big man Giannis Antetokounmpo did beat the Hornets 123 to 85. And lastly, the Portland Trail Blazers did lose to the Miami Heat. That was 106 to 96. That was NBA for you. And of course, tomorrow morning, as we get into studio here, there will be a couple of games that will be played in NBA. Sonko's team, the Nuggets, will play against the Kings. That game will be at the Ball Arena. Then we shall have that will be at 5. Then the Clippers will take on the Lakers in the Los Angeles Derby. That will be at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That game will be at the Crypto.com Arena. So the Lakers will be in action against their city rivals, the Clippers. Wow! I know that game was going to be interesting. Then the Pacers will take on the Pelicans. The Raptors will take on the Mavericks. The Bulls will take on the Cavs, and of course the Wolves will take on the Grizzlies. Those are one of the games, many of the games rather, that we'll be having in NBA basketball. That's the regular season. Away from that, into the FA Cup, we had games played yesterday or last night. I'll take you through the results. Leicester beat Bournemouth by 0-0 away from home. Newcastle drew with Blackburn. That was 1-1, and the Newcastle went through on penalties. And then we had the City thump Luton by 6-2. What a game of football there. We had Haaland scoring 4. Okay, he scored 5 in that game, and Kovacic had the single goal there. But of course, the news there is Haaland scoring 5 against Luton Town in the FA Cup. And wow, this man is on fire. He is on fire. That is Erling Haaland. And the Newcastle game against Blackburn, Newcastle did actually win on penalties, 4-3 on penalties. Then the earlier game, Leicester did beat Bournemouth after extra time by a goal a goal from Ishahaku gave Leicester that 1-0 narrow win against Bournemouth. Today or tonight, the FA Cup continues. Chelsea takes on Leeds. That game will be at the Stamford Bridge. Then the next game will be United against Forest at 10:45, and of course in the did I say Inter? Why do I say Inter? No, it's not Inter. Inter is going to play Atlanta. Why would I mention Inter? But of course, Wolves will take on Liverpool. That's another game. No, Wolves takes on Brighton. Liverpool against Southampton. Man U against Forest. And then Chelsea will take on Leeds. Those are the 4 games we have tonight. But of course, the Serie A also continues. The Italian Serie A continues. Sassuolo will take on Napoli. That will be at 8 p.m. tonight. Then Inter at 10:45 will take on Atlanta. That's a good game to catch. Those who love the Serie A, you can always catch those games on your pay TV channels. That is if you subscribe to those pay TV channels. If you don't, you can always tune in the morning and watch the highlights with the morning team. We normally come up with the highlights of the previous day games, and I think I will be able to get here and take you through all the games, including the highlights. But of course, we have 4 games, like I said, in England. Chelsea, Leeds, Nottingham Forest United at 10:45, Wolves, Brighton, and Liverpool takes on Southampton. That will be in the FA Cup for tonight. Well, that's it from sports. I have really got to go. Now I have to explain at home why I did mention Aisha here. Sarah, no. There's nothing to write home about. Just a message here that is complaining about something that happened 25, 30 years ago. So don't have to worry. And thanks so much for watching, Sarah. There's nothing to worry about. Anyway, have yourselves a lovely day and bye for now.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
MTN Momo Pay is the easy way to pay. Dial star 165 star 3 hash or use the MTN Momo app. You don't need cash. MTN Momo Pay is safe and free.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja Ankole segment. Learn about the fabrication of Ankole Kingdom from Nkore, the beautiful village of milk and honey at the detriment of Mpororo states.
Ankole as a kingdom came about in 1901.
Ankole is a colonial